It is finally NHL Trade Deadline Day, and we have a major Jacob Markstrom trade rumor update. It looks as though the Flames Deadline Day plans have been revealed. Welcome to Flames Digest. It is a very special day. It is Deadline Day, and while the Flames have already dealt away the big guns, all the UFAs, there are still plenty of moves to be made. And it's the NHL Trade Deadline. It's pretty much the Super Bowl here on Flames Digest. We will keep you updated. Feel free to interact as much as you want throughout the day. We will have all of the breaking reports ready for you guys on the go. But what does the NHL Trade Deadline in general mean? Well, it means that moves are coming. With all the rumors and reports that have been coming out around the Flames, fans have been expecting a lot of major shakeups, which should definitely be exciting for hockey fans. And if you need extra excitement in your life, then it's time to move out. And Rentals.ca has you covered. Rentals.ca is Canada's largest apartment hunting network. You can rent houses, apartments, condos, whatever it is, Rentals.ca has your back. From coast to coast, you can go straight to Rentals.ca website that's extremely clean and easy to use. And you can pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, and Rentals.ca will find you the best possible listing, and you will find the perfect place to move. Rentals.ca have been big supporters of the channel throughout this trade season, and they're also big NHL fans, so I highly recommend checking them out. You can check them out in the link in the description or at the pinned comment. I definitely recommend checking them out if you want to spice up your life and make a big move, just like what Craig Conroy has been doing. Welcome to the big trade deadline day. It is finally here. Throughout this entire channel's existence, this is the day we've been waiting for. Obviously, there's a lot of videos up on the channel, and most of them involve trade rumors and actual trades happening. Deadline day is here, and we're ready to talk about it. And the big question coming into the day for the Flames themselves is Markstrom staying in Calgary? Will he stay? Will he go? Will he get dealt? He's not a pending UFA for this season, but his name has been dragged through the mud. He himself has not been happy with these trade rumors, and thank goodness for him, they will be over after today. Well, over for this season anyway. I definitely think his name will be brought up no matter what if he stays. But welcome back, Bob MacKenzie. He's kind of coming out of retirement for this deadline day, but the Calgary Flames likely will hold on to Jacob Markstrom today and move him in the summer. And that is from Bob MacKenzie. It's great to have him back, the classic NHL insider. He has come out of retirement to talk about Markstrom. And there we go. So Markstrom likely will be held onto today, but we'll look more into dealing him in the summer. Now, this might not come as a huge shock to a lot of fans. They assume Markstrom would stay and maybe stay throughout the rest of his contract. Now, his contract still has a couple more years on it, but it looks as though the Flames might try and get even more if they hold on to him into the summer. So, the hockey news, they are contradicting what Bob MacKenzie is saying, and they're saying, the best of the rest. Tyler Toffoli was actually just recently traded right before I started recording, and Jacob Markstrom's name is right there as well. So apparently he's still on the board, and I think he'll stay on the board up until the deadline, but I'm sure that is more of just a trade bait board, and you can actually expect Markstrom to stay from the Bob MacKenzie report. I mean, he's not just going to come out and say something to say it. He's been practically retired out at the cottage having his Bobby Margaritas. And if he's coming out and saying this, then it is most likely the truth. So it's most likely that Markstrom will be a Calgary Flame come the end of the deadline. Now, the Markstrom market. This is from Chris Johnston. While it doesn't appear likely the Calgary Flames will move on from Jacob Markstrom at this deadline after asking him to waive his no movement clause in recent weeks, we probably haven't heard the last of this situation. Markstrom was open to moving to New Jersey, and the Devils had a significant amount of interest in acquiring him. Now, we know that. The whole Markstrom to New Jersey saga has been nuts, and it's not over yet. It will not be over until the deadline is done, and we know, those few hours past the deadline, once everything has settled, all the trades have come through, whether the saga really will be over, and if Markstrom will be a Devil. Looks like he'll be a Flame, but it's not out of the question. However, like I just said, here's some breaking news, confirming that Jets have acquired Tyler Toffoli from the Devils. Obviously, Toffoli, a former Flame, went over to New Jersey in the trade for Sharangovich. Sharangovich, what a game last night. Oh my goodness, he is insane. Flames are insane. Draft picks are expecting to be heading back to the Devils in the Toffoli deal. So what does that mean? Well, that actually clears up quite a bit of cap space in New Jersey's system. So I know a big part of the problem why a trade didn't go through before was the salary retention. The Flames didn't want to retain much salary on Markstrom. The Devils obviously not strapped for cap room, but obviously they didn't want to pick up that big of a contract. They now have quite a bit of cap room and could make a push at Markstrom. Maybe they're trying to make some more cap room in order to acquire a different goalie and salvage this season. I'm not too sure because both playoff races are so tight in the East and West. Tight in the way that the teams at the top are just insane and the wildcard teams are insane as well. It's going to be tough for the Flames to make a push at the playoffs with Nashville playing this good, Vegas expecting to pick it up again. But anyway, let's focus on Markstrom here and the Devils. So maybe New Jersey is trying to make some cap room. If they're only bringing picks back, obviously picks don't take a hit on the salary cap. So there's a chance that the Devils are not done with Markstrom. It really does seem as though Markstrom is staying in Calgary, and I personally will be shocked if he is dealt before the deadline, and maybe the Flames will certainly talk about trading him in the summer, which again kind of sucks for him. It's going to suck to be involved in those kind of trade rumors, but I would assume no matter what, Conroy will have Markie's back because he has voiced his opinion about it. So with that being said, let's look ahead. We're looking ahead here at the summer. So if Markstrom does stay, then let's look ahead towards what the Flames could maybe do around, I would assume, draft time or when free agency frenzy comes on Canada Day and see if Markstrom is dealt or anything like that. So conventional wisdom suggests the Flames will be able to expand the field of bidders for a Vezina quality goaltender by delaying trade discussions until the June draft. But that's assuming Markstrom will come around to working with the club on other destinations at that time. Something to monitor as we get toward the summer. That again is from Chris Johnston. So it is true. Markstrom could become even more valuable come summertime. There's going to be a lot of teams looking at goalies. If New Jersey does not pick up a number one guy at this deadline, then they will certainly still be the front runners, and the New Jersey Markstrom saga will continue. But I just wanted to take a look here at some of the pending UFA goalies. So not too many number one guys, but look at two of the top three there. So Matt Murray and Elias Samsonov of the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't even know what just happened there. They're both pending UFAs. The goalies in Toronto never seem to sign long-term or just never seem to have term in Toronto. And it also should be noted that Martin Jones is also a pending UFA. Now, obviously, they have Joseph Woll as well. He will likely be a number one going into next season. I guess we'll have to see the playoff performance this year. But Toronto could be a very, very good suitor for Markstrom. I mean, we all know Toronto, they are just in cap hell at all times, and it'll be tough to make a move happen. But with Tree living over in Toronto, he's familiar with Markstrom. He's familiar with the Calgary front office, and he's familiar with Calgary's assets, so a trade could be made there. Another one, Minnesota with Marc-Andre Fleury. He, maybe will retire at the end of the season. We'll see what he kind of decides to do. If Minnesota decides to dedicate their future to Philip Gustafsson, then I don't see a Markstrom trade possible. But if they do want a push for a major goalie and finally get over that hump that they have never been able to get over in their entire franchise history, then maybe Markstrom would be a good fit there. The other notable one is Jeremy Swayman of Boston. So Boston obviously has a very good goalie tandem going with Swayman and Ullmark, but there's a chance that maybe they'll move on from both and Markstrom could be a guy there. You never know. But looking ahead, it looks as though Markstrom might be dealt in the summer. And I think no matter what, Conroy has seemed to have the players' backs like he did with Hanifin, like he did with Tanev. Wanted to make sure they were comfortable with what happened. I'm sure Conroy will continue to do the same with Markstrom, but will also continue to do what is best for the organization. He's got a lot of assets back in his rookie. I'm sure a lot of the other managers are razzing him a bit because he's a rookie GM, but there is a chance that Conroy might just, go crazy and do what he thinks is best for the organization and make a blockbuster trade that none of us see coming. Now, the last thing I wanted to touch on, speaking of trades, was there was a minor trade yesterday. I apologize that we didn't cover it yesterday, but the Flames did make another deal yesterday heading towards the deadline, but it wasn't a huge blockbuster. It didn't include, Hanifin, Tanev, Markstrom, anything like that. It involved Emilio Pettersson was sent over to the Dallas Stars for Riley Damiani. And so this obviously is not a huge blockbuster trade. It's an AHL player swap, but it's interesting to note that it's Calgary and Dallas again. So this could almost be seen as maybe an add-on to the Chris Tanev trade. Maybe this is, I mean, the Flames and Stars have had so much going on with Tanev being shipped there, and then Joel Hanley being claimed off waivers to Calgary could be seen as an add-on to that trade. And now this minor swap as well could be seen as another part of it. I know it's a little bit questionable. I know a lot of Flames fans liked Pettersson and what maybe he could bring to the table. But so here are the player details listed by NHL Discussion. So Damiani, a forward drafted in 2018. He's had a decent AHL season so far, 10 goals in about 53 games. And then Pettersson has had a very good season with the Wranglers so far with 30 points, just the 7 goals though. And that is supposed to say in the AHL as well at the end. So an interesting deal here. It'll be very interesting to see if either of those players crack their current team's lineup now. I can't imagine Pettersson will get any playing time with the Stars. Maybe Damiani if the Flames get some injuries. But with the current lineup they have and how well they played against Tampa yesterday, and then with players like Zary expected to come back, AJ Greer, and then Pospisil, obviously, once he is no longer suspended, then I don't know about that. But just wanted to keep you updated on that. Now, speaking of updates, we at Flames Digest will keep you updated all day. I'm assuming and hoping there will be a few videos coming out if there are some Flames trades. But no matter what, thank you so much for the support throughout this trade season. You guys have been amazing. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, can't thank you guys enough. It has been a blast leading up to this trade deadline day, and it is finally here. And I'm so happy to share it with you guys. So thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe if you like what you saw here today, and have a fantastic trade deadline day.